and in the back of the line. Mashing up it on the top of my mind. I'm mixing me all on with paint one time. Job shine, job dirty with crime. So much a girl, job taking a wine. So much a drinks, I don't know which is mine. Job brand is the top of the line. Watch me! Waistline, waistline. I don't come to waste time. I don't chase mine. Wine into the baseline. That go be VIP. That is the only man that I see. Hey, you better mind your baby. And please don't try call security. Party bad and no asking power. So get to front and give away the flowers. The job never covered. We going for hours. Give me 2 girl, call it in towers. When I done, baby shower.
We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning.
Yo, it's your boy DJ Diego of Boom 1069. Just giving you a little sneak peek of behind the scenes of what we do to keep our scene clean and stop the spread of COVID-19. We all have to do our part to stop the spread. Stay home, stay safe, stop the spread. A message from Boom 1069 and IKTV.
The spread of viral infections, including the flu and COVID-19, by practicing proper hand washing. Follow these simple steps. Remove all jewelry before washing hands. Wet hands using running water. Place liquid soap in hand. Circulate using rotational movements, interlace fingers, and repeat switching hands. Wash back of fingers, rotating them in the palms. Wash fingertips, rotating them in palms. Wash thumbs using rotational movements. Thoroughly wash hands down to the wrists. Rinse hands. Dry with clean tissue. Turn off tap using tissue. Use tissue to open door and discard in bin. A simple act can make a huge difference. Stop the spread of viral infections, including the flu and COVID-19, by practicing proper hand washing. This is a message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and the Environment.
We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning.
The Love Zone.
The best R&B jams, period.
Hear it on Boom 1069.
He's been like this all morning. Just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I advocate for that 100% soca for the 2 months of the year. I wait for that. That's my time.
Yeah, well, you're a real soca baby.
Because I usually enjoy that period. Listen, you could play soca all in and I'll just be like, yeah, bye, yeah, keep going. Da, 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 da. But yeah, we got to say good morning to those persons locked on Facebook. Good morning to you.
Facebook family, how you guys doing?
Yes. Good morning to our WhatsApp family as well. I'm seeing some messages here, right? But
you causing chaos in the morning. We should name this chaos in the morning.
What? I don't. And I'm skeptical.
You're skeptical
about reading these, messages.
Listen, with respect to Carnival and COVID, I heard a conspiracy theory yesterday.
I'm nervous.
No, that
What's a conspiracy?
that they're holding back results and dripping everything, just to give us a reason to stay inside, to cancel the Carnival.
Hair?
Yeah.
But nobody ain't really having carnival anyway, so I guess everybody's
what I
come
mean?
together and done this, made this plan.
Mm-hmm.
But why wouldn't we want to have carnival? How is that?
Listen, I'm just talking about people are just have a conspiracy about carnival being cancelled.
No, I think.
And,
But you think, I think people are going to miss that, that period of time. Morning, Chris. He's gone, he didn't hear me. I think that people are going to miss that, what should we refer to it as? That period of time where they could kind of just relax and, what was it that we said we do? Release. Flex over there. And it really is something that is important to our entertainers, our DJs, our artists. I'm not hearing anybody talking about helping our people.
What do you mean you're not hearing that? There's all kinds of stimulus stuff
For
going on
entertainers?
for entertainers, for artists. There was a form that
They
you
don't
had to
know
download.
about it.
What do you mean they don't know about it?
I spoke to Shady on Friday. Shady said, "Well, everybody getting money. We ain't
You see
getting
what I
nothing."
mean? Then he's wrong.
So do you have any more information on that?
Yeah, but they had to come and book some time and get some sponsorship, and then I will relay that.
So there's stimulus
this is
package
not Boom
available.
106 charity, and COVID
No,
hit
but
us
I'm
hard
saying
too.
no. I'm saying. So there's money available.
Yeah. There is stuff
for-
available for artists. There's even stuff for DJs as well too. Diego was telling me about that. Yeah.
I know, boy. Yeah, and I feel, of course, I feel that pain because All right, I'm nervous to take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Daniel.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Daniel, I make it a habit of mine to listen to Boom every morning, especially when Mr. Weeks is going to call in, because Mr. Weeks is quite experienced, and in my opinion, he keep his composure intact when he's making his position and things he see in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I pay attention to Jerry Scott because I think George, because I think all of them bring flavor to your program, and the program is about informing and entertaining people. But I agree with Mr. Week this morning that some people in this country cannot keep their composure when they speak in a national issue because they always have to bring a bit of politics into it. Like I said to you some time ago, Mr. Weeks is not my favorite person, but he makes a lot of sense whenever he calls your program, and I look forward to that segment every morning because you get information that you can dwell on what you want when you hear other people speaking the nonsense, because Mr. Weeks is speaking from an experience standpoint where he saw this country at the highest level of a permanent secretary. So I am just calling to support him and let him know that he shouldn't give up, because persons need the information that he has. He has a lot of information combined with experience. So I'm hoping that he's not discouraged, because if he don't have any listener, he have one listener who listens to him every morning. And boom, I look forward to that particular segment every morning, because I think he gives information that you and I could be better to equip to get into conversation from experience, hearing from somebody who is full of wisdom like him. Daniel, you have a great day.
All right, and thank you so much for that call. I appreciate that. That's very, very nice of that caller to call and give Mr. Weeks his support, because it's rough. It's rough out here to speak publicly, to
give an opinion, and
it's-
sometimes you get roasted for it. People come at you
a lot of times,
Yeah.
and Mr. Weeks, Jerry, and Pastor, they do it. I want to say out of love, and of course there are always persons who will disagree, can't
Yeah.
really run away from that, but they continue to do this every day. So we definitely have to support them and give them back that love. And I really appreciate that, caller, because it's one thing coming from us, but from our listeners, that it means a lot more. We do have to jump out though. I think Flex could give me one song. We're gonna take a quick break and come back with more. One more call. Good morning.
Daniel, good morning, eh?
Can you turn down the
Yeah, turn down.
Yes,
Turn down.
please.
Yeah, I want to pick up Mr. Weeks, eh?
All right.
And I want
there
to
we
pick
go.
up, Kingsley recording, and I'm really impressed with that. And secondly, Jerry last week, I think he was on the ball when he God Sanders, when he really praised God. I really love that stand that Jerry took last week when he big up God Sanders. Leave out the politics and say he's a very good manager of Central Water and Terry. So big up to Jerry on that one. I like when he came and really supported God Sanders on that issue and throw with the politics. Eh? Thank you very much. Eh?
All right, thanks for calling.
Oh, and speaking of water, the last couple of days I've been been loving it.
There you go. We got some
Water
rain
all
too.
over the
We got
place.
some- I hope you went and got your buckets. Not what did you refer to them as? Your vessels. Hope you went and got your buckets and your basins and you catch up some water. Can you say that? Catch up some water?
Catch up some.
More OMG coming your way when we come back. Flex, take it away.
Come with a free pass, a YouTube account and a leave blast, a nice little house and green grass. These are some of the vilest creatures. And if you come here with a weak heart, you go pass out before the week pass. This worse than cheap as creepers, werewolf monsters and reapers. I come from a different timing, where you walk on a very thin lining. Was either music or badness, and you could lose your life in the rhyming. Many places we would have go to sing, man, have ice pick and blades and long things were shining. And the adversary on the night might enter the venue with a dead squad behind him. And if you tell them the wrong thing, I guarantee the next 6-7 months you're hiding. Cause that's what we're riding. Them no afraid, no police uniform, neither siren. The incorrect part of speech could make your head up in the Gulf of Paria. But the mic right and the light bright and you fight like a warrior. So when you see me burn up the place, they may let me burn up the place. And when you see me turn up the place, they may let me turn up the place. Boy, when you see me burn up the place.
We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning.
The Love Zone.
The best R&B jams, period.
Hear it on Boom 1069.
Here we go! Locking down the entire universe. It's District 106 on the Boom, Galaxy by far, and DJ Flex on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069.
Yo, it's your boy DJ Diego of Boom 1069. Just giving you a little sneak peek of behind the scenes of what we do to keep our scene clean and stop the spread of COVID-19. We all have to do our part to stop the spread. Stay home, stay safe, stop the spread. A message from Boom 1069 and IKTV.
Throwback Thursday, the biggest throwbacks all day. It's nothing but continuous urban jams. Lock it to the Evolution Station.
We talk about your jams, the old school joints, everything.
On Thursday, we throw it back.
It's Throwback Thursdays on the Evolution Station.
This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot.
Throwback Thursday.
When the talk about Evolution
1069 Boom. 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 On On point, dropping shade and setting the trends.
You drinking the haterade.
It's the Shade Room with Jill and DJ Shady. DJ on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069. Boom Chat Friday.
Boom Chat Friday.
It's a different kind of juggle on Boom.
Everybody cups up. Everybody cups up. For the girl my God loves. If you know
You chat, we juggle.
Chat Fridays.
and you like chat. Me no in a bankrupt. Me no day in jail dash for the handcuff. One in our pocket you know me tank up. 6 out here you know we run prof.
Big up your crew, street or block.
Sending them voice notes now.
Evolution of sound, evolution of music, evolution of radio.
Them nobody like me. Like me, them nobody like me. Like me, them nobody.
Boom Chat Friday.
Go, 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 go.
1069 Boom.
As a doctor and first responder in the fight against COVID-19, we use the N95 mask to protect ourselves and our patients. We are therefore asking you, the public, not to use or abuse the N95 mask. They are exclusively for medical and nursing personnel. Help us to save you and to save ourselves.
We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning. On point, dropping shade and setting the trends.
You drinking the haterade.
It's the Shade Room with Jill and DJ Shady. DJ on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069.
When I look at you in your eyes, I see there's something burning inside you. Oh, inside you, in your eyes. I know it hurts to smile, but you try to. Oh, you try to. You always try to hide the pain. You always know just what to say. I always look the other way. I'm blind.
Yo, mornings just got reclaimed. OMG in the morning.
We got our folks in Antigua locked on. Gotta say good morning. The UK locked on as well. Good morning, good morning. This is the part of the morning where we make preparations for Jerry George. He's gonna be joining us right here on OMG in the morning.
Straight up, real talk, unfiltered, and in your face. Jerry George on Boom 106.
Hello, good morning. All right, no problem. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. And how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing, Jerry?
You don't take my warning, so it's okay. I'm doing fine.
I can't believe you brought that on air. That is not right. We will have a word about this.
Yes, we have a word about that one.
You're warning? Okay. All right, Jerry. So, how was your weekend? It was eventful, relaxing, restful?
Relaxing. What to do? Just take life as it goes. I mean, not much happening, so
Not much happening?
Enjoy life, yeah. Be glad you're alive.
You're enjoying life at
Just be glad you're alive. Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering if you're still taking social distancing or physical distancing seriously.
I am.
You are?
I had actually thought about going to that funeral on Union Island.
Right, which took
And I
place
said, boy,
yesterday.
see that boat? And I was absolutely correct. The boat was ram-packed.
Oh, really?
With people. 2 out of 100 were in mass. So, wasn't my space. But I'd like to have gone, seriously.
I know, and our hearts are definitely with the families and
Mhm.
everyone in Union Island.
Absolutely.
at this
Absolutely.
time. Okay, Jerry. So we have another case. I don't even need to give you the information. You know. So
Yeah.
give me your take.
I'm not really get too excited about that. I mean, I'm glad it's just one cases that we're getting.
Yeah.
But seriously, I think the region, and maybe we could take a lead on this, needs to do some kind of research as to why the Caribbean as a whole seems to have been, I would call it, spared so far. Because the responses in the Caribbean is nowhere like it has been anywhere else.
Yeah. It's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference. And somebody should sit down and instead of just taking it for granted and saying, praise the Lord, which we should do, I think it bears some research. What exactly?
There have been some persons saying, climate is one of those things that.
But Africa has this basically same climate. Other countries have similar climate to us. I think the smallness of our size and the fact that we are not as connected, maybe that's what it was. Or it is. But certainly somebody should do some research into that.
I agree.
Somebody should. That's my recommendation anyway.
I agree. We still don't have any idea of what the protocols are going to look like moving forward when borders reopen.
Well, I can tell you this. Some of these things, honestly, I try to be as respectful as possible to them. So, Antigua received a flight. I can't remember the number of passengers at the moment.
They did what? Sorry, repeat?
They received a flight,
okay.
American Airlines flight. And they're saying, we tested all the passengers and all were negative. So my first question is, which test are you talking about? Because if it's a rapid test, we know that it's to be notably unreliable. One, two, there's not a word about quarantine about these people. So, we could be eager to get back into business, but we can't. We have been spared so far. We can't, and note the majority of the cases that we have had have come from outside. That should tell us. That is why we ought to be careful, because the outside link is where our potential problems lie. So to tell me, we received 100 and something passengers, and we tested them and they were all negative. Which test in COVID-19 is so precise at this stage? None. Even the PCR test, sometimes people test with PCR, which is called the gold standard, and down the road they show up positive. We have to be very, very mindful of that. Even as we seek to want to get back into business. It's not that simple.
So do you think that Antigua rushed? Do you think it's too soon? Their protocols are too loose? They need to tighten it? What do you think?
They need to tighten their protocol. And all of these islands there have to be some agreement as to what the protocols are. And as I say, if we do not put in place those protocols for ourselves, they will be forced upon us. Britain today talked about the whole question of quarantine. All right? Let me just see if I find this quickly, just to give you, for example, some of what is happening in Europe. Where are we? Just give me a chance.
No problem.
In Ireland, hugging, holding of hands, kissing, shaking hands, eating from the same utensils, cups, glasses, have now been outlawed as part of COVID restrictions.
Wait, pardon? Go back.
You heard me. Hugging.
Listed.
You're jobless. You're in deep trouble.
Wait, hold on. Guys, y'all hearing this? Please, wait, hold on. Go repeat, Jerry. I'm going to think so that everybody in the studio can hear. Go repeat the list. Let's go again.
Everybody here, you
I
are.
want them to, no, I want them to hear what I am hearing. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Hugging, holding hands, kissing, Daniel. You there? And shaking. Hearing,
I'm here.
Eating utensils, cups, glasses are now being banned as part of COVID restrictions.
Jeez.
I'm not sure how it's going to be policed. People can only meet with one group of up to 6 people for 1 hour per day. Are you here with me?
Okay.
And these are the countries from which we potentially can anticipate people coming to us as tourists. And that's how strict they are.
Where is it you said that this is being done? Where is this being done, you said?
This is Ireland. And basically, when one European country does something like this, it kind of, because they're all saying, boy, we either should have closed 2 weeks earlier or we can't open back up so fast. Some have opened up and seen a spike, so this is not a reaction to the spike. The point I want to make is this. Tourists come from outside of where we are. The people who are in these locations are concerned. We can't simply open up a bar and tell anybody, hey, all you come. And then what happens after that if something goes wrong? That's
then
my
we
question.
face the consequences.
Exactly. I'm saying it's tough. We're going to go through some tough times. Or at one part I didn't tell you. Use of public transport is for essential works only, and browsing in shops is not permitted. You take that.
So you can't browse.
No,
You have to.
can't go in a shop or not, but if you want to pick something, go pick it up and come out.
You see, but these things are gonna be very hard to monitor.
I agree, and they make that point too.
I don't
So a lot of
see
it
how
has
you're
to
gonna
do-
make sure.
No,
that
well, if in your own space, you do those things, it's fine, because remember, you could meet with people, you could meet with the people of your own space. So Daniel, don't get too concerned.
Me,
You could still.
sorry for me. It's
hold on, which
really
one of them
the
things?
fellas
Hold on. Which one of them things are you most concerned, Daniel?
all of them.
Not bother. I can't have equal concern about it.
All. I'm concerned about all of them. I just feel like, what can I do? What are we going to be allowed to do? Oh my goodness. Jerry, well, I don't know if you want to say anything else on coronavirus, because I do want to touch on St. Kitts. You have information about that. I know people
Hold on a
usually
second,
listen
yes,
to
I'll come
you.
to that.
All right.
No, and the Vatican and New Zealand have now said that over a period they have not had any viruses, and so much so that the Prime Minister of New Zealand says, I'm doing a little dance. But that is because they have been cut off. Again, they're saying, as the Pope said, it's no time to celebrate, no victory call yet. Because when you open back up and people start to come back in, do you have the protocols to manage those people coming in, to track those people coming in, and to know what they are? Because you might be able to control it within your environment because you've done the testing and tracking internally, so you have kept it internally. The challenge is when you open back up. So the Vatican and New Zealand say that that's the position they're in at the moment. But go ahead.
Okay. Oh boy. Now, St. Kitts.
But I think really upset you about that shake hand thing. Really upset you about that shake hand.
Yes, the shaking of the hands. Yes, that's
you
right.
get a shake hand really upset you bad.
Now, St. Kitts elections. Give me your overview.
Well, the ruling Team Unity government party has been, the coalition has been returned to office with Denzel Douglas still as the leader. The thing about the St. Kitts elections that concern me most, and I don't get it, 48,000 votes to vote. I was following the elections tonight, right? So I kind of threw myself across the bed with my iPad on following this thing. I wake up a couple of times, I say, wait, them still did it?
Yeah, it went on forever.
Hold
It
on,
went
at
on
3:29,
forever.
I can tell you exactly,
Yeah.
3:29. I wake up again and I do so. I hear them game results. Me say, nah.
It's crazy.
I can't my iPad and go sleep.
It was crazy.
No. In this day and age, when COVID has forced us online to do everything and to speed up the processes, that is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Totally unacceptable.
It was really long.
Do you realize up until late yesterday they were still counting votes?
That I did not know.
Yeah. Their system is that you collect all the ballot boxes from the different places, right? And they have it's over 100 stations, because that's another story I'll tell you about. The three men observation team say that they were able to go to 94 polling stations. 94 in a 3 months? Anyway, that's another story. But yes, they'd collect all the boxes and take them to a central location and then rotate how they're counted. That's nonsense. I mean, that is for the days when they had done. Well, I didn't know what kind of days that would be because that makes no sense in no day. I mean, count the ballots where you are, send the number of the count in. You were going to have a recount anyway when you bring the boxes together. But to spend hours counting 48 registered voters is just ridiculous. And it goes to show that somebody, for some reason, don't want to change that system. It makes no sense. Let me tell you, the most efficient of the electoral counting systems I know of is in Grenada. Grenada have computerized their system, and by 8 o'clock you know the results with all of the data because it's all computerized. They stick the stuff in there, it's all the data. What was the relationship before, the pie chart, the bar chart, all of that you can tell. After polls close 6 o'clock, by 8 o'clock in Grenada, you basically know who won the election.
Very early and much shorter in comparison.
No, I think what I'm thinking is that when you have something so efficient, why isn't it shared around? The thing about it, is that piece of computer software was developed by the electoral office in Grenada. And listen to this part. Leading the team is a Vincent Jean-François.
Really?
Oh, yes. So we have the resources, we can do the things, but for some reason people want to maintain the archaic system, which I'm glad. One thing I'm glad for COVID. COVID is going to shoot us past some stuff in banking, in online and stuff that we can check on our own slow time. COVID is going to demand that we do it now. Just like how you see people jump online schooling, just so, overnight, plenty of other things will have to change. But to spend hours counting votes is just ridiculous.
Yes, it was. I mean, I was thinking, wow, this is never going to end.
I'm telling you, when I tell you I woke up 3:29 exactly, I roll over and I say, well, let me check. I hear them give them results. It did not turn off. I didn't even listen to the results they were giving at that point. I just turned off my time to sleep.
I don't know how you did it. I didn't watch it personally, but I have a vested interest. So I want to ask you as well, was someone here on... Pardon?
You do? Okay, let's continue. Find out there's our fair conversation. Go ahead.
There's something really wrong with you. There's something really wrong with you. Oh, boy. Someone on the WhatsApp is asking for Jerry's take on the Guyana elections.
Actually coming there next. That's actually coming in. Guyana had elections on the 2nd of March, and you may have known I was there, I was at the ground. The elections ran into problems, and it went to court, back and forth, this and that. The opposition saying that they was cheating in Region 4, back and forth, back and forth. Then they came to agreeing to a recount. Well, GCOM said if we're going to recount in everything, every single ballot. They set a time for that to happen. I can't remember how many thousand boxes there are. And the extended time, but they were finished. They came to the conclusion last night of the recount. One of the things that has shown up is that there have been so much instances of irregularities. Like, for example, 29 boxes only have ballots in them. Now, a ballot box is supposed to have in the concluded document. They call it a poll book in Guyana. And we use ballots, unused ballots, and several different things. They found 29 ballot boxes that only had in them the ballots, nothing else. When they called for a meeting of the deputy returning officers to try and explain it, because that was their responsibility, nobody turned up. Well, so there were some concerns there. At first, it was felt that GCOM, which is the Electoral Commission, will not count those votes. Eventually, they counted those votes, and some 85,000 votes were at stake. They counted them, and the APNU, the ruling party, is in objection to the count, but they counted them anyway. On the other side of, well, along with those things, there were several, I can't remember how many polling stations had no poll box. They had the other stuff, but no poll books. Now, the poll book is the book that is like the audit for what happened on election day. So if, when they're counting the votes, there's an issue, they go back to the poll book to see what was recorded. All right? The person who comes to vote but without an ID card, you register that and you register what ID the person presented. So you know if there's a question, if there's a query, or if the matter has to go to court, it's there. These boxes appeared with 0 poll books. All right? Then there was the challenge that how many people voted not on them. And they have gone and they have collected the death certificates and clipped them on in some instances. So you have a pile of death certificates. And then the number of people who are not in Guyana, were not in Guyana, but who voted. So these are some of the issues. What is interesting, though, I find, now this is the APNU side of the story. Yeah? The opposition side, the PPP side, is saying, listen, when we agree to a recount, we didn't agree to all them kind of thing, didn't we? All we say, go in the box. If you meet a ballot, count it. If you meet any other thing, forget that. Just count the ballots you meet in the box. All right? Which I find we never authorize an audit. We just say, go in the box and count. We meet in the box, count it. So that's their position. In the last couple of days now, they have been presented, the recount is showing what we said ever since. So we should be declared the winners. What I have heard and what is being touted is that the elections can be declared null and void if GCOM so chooses, or they can move to the point where there's an interim government that is put in charge until fresh elections can be held.
That is so,
Listen, ridiculous is what? This is 3 months in. This is March, I tell you, March 2nd. And you're still unable to announce a result. The president did a speech on Saturday in which he says, he repeats that whatever GCOM decides, he will go along with. So we wait to see. There are 4 processes. 1, the recount. 2, CARICOM and GCOM has to present reports. 3, the reports are reviewed to see the issues that were brought up in those reports. Is there anything that, that's really serious, And then the 4th thing is once the commissioner, the chief commissioner, decides that she is in a position to declare the results, she declares the results. So we have done 1, we're waiting for the CARICOM and GCOM report, then the review, and then the declaration of the elections. Consistent days ahead.
Listen, I hope that there's a resolution soon.
I hardly think so. I mean, except for some kind of power share, I don't see this being resolved easily.
Power share, you said?
Well, interim government, exactly, power share, I said. I don't see how this is going to resolve, but it needs to go back to the poll. And before they go back to the poll, they have to fix a lot of the loopholes that they find. They have to find ways to fix them.
Jerry, I want to bring this home. What do you think our election process is going to look like this year? What do you think our election is going to look like on a whole?
Well, I hope that we have learned from the last election, and that, for example, things like the ballot and their design and so forth are going to be made very plain and clear, because that's one thing Guyana did. They published how the ballot was supposed to look. They had videos to show you how it's supposed to look. I think we all need to resort to that kind of transparency when it comes to issues like these. So our elections, I hope we would have learned, particularly the opposition, that they would have a game plan in place so that they don't have to, because as it stands, there are issues about the petitions from the 2015 election that are still in court. To me, that is ridiculous beyond words, but that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the beast.
And given that, we have COVID-19 going on, what about campaigning?
Well, St. Kitts just went through that. But you have to remember, St. Vincent has not followed the rules and anything when it comes to this.
Right.
In St. Kitts, you could only campaign virtually. And so the government took over the Marriott Hotel, took some of their supporters there and had their whole campaign set up from within the Marriott Hotel. They were given permission for that. The opposition was saying that they were not given the similar permissions, the usual thing that we find. At this stage, that means nothing because I think there's in one constituency, number one, in St. Kitts, they're talking about challenging it in court. So other than that, that's it. How are we going to campaign? As I said, we have not followed to any degree the protocol. Somebody told me that yesterday, the Prime Minister, when asked about masks, the wearing of masks, he said the wearing of masks is optional. The new information that I have seen going out doesn't tell me that, but that was the Prime Minister. Somebody told me that. That's what the Prime Minister answered at something that he was speaking at yesterday.
All right. Anything
Okay.
you would like to say in closing?
Say to people, stay smart, got work to do, let's get to work.
Straight up?
Straight up.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. Have a great day.
Keep shaking those hands. Bye.
Straight up, real talk, unfiltered, and in your face. Jerry George on Boom 106.
Outside my show, make polish on the floor, glad we make it out of this thing. Ooh, big mansion, penthouse, bad, and whips. Touch. What's me out the gallon with me? Skip, when I get pretty out. Eat the banana, gallon man, the money strictly. I wanna be, I said, it might be sweet, I make you see.
We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning. Boom Chat Friday.
Boom Chat Friday.
It's a different kind of juggle on Boom.
Everybody cups up. For the girl my God loves. If you know
You chat, we juggle.
Chat Fridays.
And you like chat.
Me no in a bankrupt. Me no day a jail dash for the handcuff. One in our pocket, you know me tank up. 6 out here, you know we run prof.
Big up your crew, street or block.
Sending them voice notes now.
Evolution of sound, evolution of music, evolution of radio.
Them no bad like me, them no bad like me, them no bad.
Boom Chat Friday.
Go, 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 go!
1069 Boom. Vibe Central plays in the most fire in the nighttime.
Hey, yo, play that shit again!
8 p.m. to midnight with Platinum Jugglers on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069.
The Love Zone.
The best R&B jams, period.
Hear it on Boom 1069.
Hey, on Thursdays we throw it back, boy.
Throwback Thursday. The biggest throwbacks all day. It's nothing but continuous urban jams. Lock it to the Evolution Station.
We talk about your jams, the old school joints, everything.
On Thursday, we throw it back.
Let's Throwback Thursdays on the Evolution Station.
This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot.
Throwback Thursday.
When the top boy Evolution.
1069 Boom. 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 Boom.
Here we go.
Locking down the entire universe. It's District 106 on the Boom. Galaxy by far. And DJ Flex on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069.
Yo, it's your boy DJ Diego of Boom 1069. Just giving you a little sneak peek of behind the scenes of what we do to keep our scene clean and stop the spread of COVID-19. We all have to do our part to stop the spread. Stay home, stay safe, stop the spread. A message from Boom 1069 and IKTV.
The spread of viral infections, including the flu and COVID-19, by practicing proper hand washing. Follow these simple steps. Remove all jewelry before washing hands. Wet hands using running water. Place liquid soap in hand. Circulate using rotational movements, interlace fingers, and repeat switching hands. Wash back of fingers, rotating them in the palms. Wash fingertips, rotating them in palms. Wash thumbs using rotational movements. Thoroughly wash hands down to the wrists. Rinse hands. Dry with clean tissue. Turn off tap using tissue. Use tissue to open door and discard in bin. A simple act can make a huge difference. Stop the spread of viral infections, including the flu and COVID-19, by practicing proper hand washing. This is a message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and the Environment.
So the reason why we in healthcare use this mask, the N95 mask, is because we have a prolonged contact and continuous contact with the ill. A prolonged contact is considered within 1 meter of the patient and for more than 15 minutes. And you know, healthcare workers, we would have to keep doing this. Also, we'll be doing aerosolized procedures. You may have to nebulize someone, so we need a little bit more protection, and that's why we use the N95 mask. While caring for someone at home, always remember, even though you're using this mask, that your contact should really be minimal. And it does protect you in the case of corona because the virus is quite big and very unlikely to pass to and from this mask. And that's why the patient would wear it and the person providing care will wear it.
your sugar love. Jam it up on the front and let me get by your sugar love. Turn that thing around. I want the wine by your sugar love. Put your hand on the ground and let me get on it. 'Cause I love the way how it bumping, admiring how it jumping. When it jump down and then come back like it having a spring or something. When you lift it up like a mountain and drop it down like a fountain and take them sugar love and turn around them up and it up. Touchdown, 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 touchdown. Hands go up, then the bumpers drop down, 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 drop down. So the girl want rama. She don't want a soft thing, she just wanted a drama. Nothing serious, she don't want drama. Say bend up, you bend up, you bend up your waist like a inverted comma. Yeah, oh mama. Girl go down, go down, go down, go down. Take me to the ground. You see all the wine I like that. The kind of wildness I like that. Girl you come and play I
Hands up, bumpers down. Touchdown, 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 touchdown. Hands go up, belly bumpers drop down, 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 drop down.
Yo, mornings just got reclaimed. OMG in the morning.
And if you're staying in to stop the spread, you got to check out IKTV for the real on COVID-19 with the facts, fairs, as well as public service announcements from the Ministry of Health. Check them out also for safety tips and educational videos on COVID-19. And for your entertainment, IKTV has the latest videos and concerts from your favorite artists. All on IKTV 112, all about you. Gotta say good morning to Randy. He's locked on. Morning, Randy. Marlon, your messages, they're stressing me out this morning. That's why I didn't really read them. We still got a lot to come your way. We've got Pastor. He's coming up at around 9:30. Let me see. I saw something there on the Facebook. Good morning to those of you who are locked on Facebook. Kent, that's our ferrying guy. That's his name? Morning to you, Kent, and good morning to everybody else who's locked on Facebook. Later on in this week, maybe I shouldn't announce that yet. We're supposed to be having a special show for you on Thursday, I think it is. And I'll talk to you a bit more about it tomorrow when I confirm everything, yeah? So don't you go anywhere. Keep it locked on to Boom 106.9 OMG in the morning. We're going to jump out and do this real quick and come back with more vibes all coming your way right here on OMG.
When all the doors are closed,
we lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning. Boom Chat Friday.
Boom Chat Friday.
It's a different kind of juggle on Boom.
Everybody cups up. Everybody cups up. For the girl my God loves. If you know
you chat, we juggle.
Boom Chat Fridays.
And you like chat.
Me no in a bankrupt. Me no day a jail dash for the handcuff. One in our pocket, you know me tank up. 6 out here, you know we run prof.
Big up your crew, street or block.
Sending them voice notes now.
Evolution of sound, evolution of music, evolution of radio.
Them no bad like me, them no bad like me, them no bad.
Boom Chat Friday.
Go, 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 go.
106.9 Boom. Vibe Central plays in the most fire in the nighttime.
Hey, yo, play that shit again.
8 p.m. to midnight with Platinum Jugglers on the Evolution Station. Boom 106.9.
The Love Zone.
The best R&B jams, period.
Hear it on Boom 106.9.
Hey, on Thursdays we throw it back, boy.
Throwback Thursday. The biggest throwbacks all day. It's nothing but continuous urban jams. Lock it to the Evolution Station.
We talk about your jams, the old school joints, everything.
On Thursday, we throw it back.
Let's Throwback Thursdays on the Evolution Station.
This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot.
Throwback Thursday.
When the top boy Evolution.
106.9 Boom. 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 Boom.
Here we go.
Locking down the entire universe. It's District 106 on the Boom. Galaxy by far. And DJ Flex on the Evolution Station. Boom 106.9.
the spread of viral infections, including the flu and COVID-19, by practicing proper hand washing. Follow these simple steps. Remove all jewelry before washing hands. Wet hands using running water. Place liquid soap in hand. Circulate using rotational movements, interlace fingers, and repeat switching hands. Wash back of fingers, rotating them in the palms. Wash fingertips, rotating them in palms. Wash thumbs using rotational movements. Thoroughly wash hands down to the wrists. Rinse hands. Dry with clean tissue. Turn off tap using tissue. Use tissue to open door and discard in bin. A simple act can make a huge difference. Stop the spread of viral infections, including the flu and COVID-19, by practicing proper hand washing. This is a message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment.
What you feel inside? In your eyes, I see my future wife. Someone I could be with all my life. Him want a girl on the side, I need a bona fide. Girl, all you gotta do is try my love. I promise that you'd never, ever, ever, ever go back. Baby, if you try my love, I promise that you'd never, ever, ever, ever go back.
He's smiling, and that's because of me. He's happy, I want the world to see. We're living ever happily. Yeah. I'm wondering honestly. How could you not see that we are in love? How could you be talking to talk that stuff? After all this time, now your feelings tough. But don't wait on us. Looks like you need a love like ours. Then you would know how it feels. Looks like you need a love like ours. You need some happiness still. Looks like you need a love like ours. You need some happiness for real. Looks like you need a love like ours. You need some happiness still.
I was down, you were there, lifting my body up to ground, showing me no fear. You were down, I was there, telling you that you're beautiful, baby, I compare. Only you, only you, only you. Yeah, only you,
You're out of this world. You're not a normal girl. I think you were made for me. You keep on amazing me, baby. I never felt the way I do. And I owe it all to you. I think you were sent for me. Made for me specially, baby.
Girl, what you want from me? Yeah. Girl, can you help me out? Cause it ain't clear to see. Yeah. All the time when you come around, it's like only the money take away your frown. I ask you if you love me, you didn't make a sound. But you smile when you see the US and the pound. Cause you have one eye on me and one eye on my pocket. Baby girl, you have a dirty habit and you need to drop it. Me, I wonder when you are gonna give me real love. Me, I wonder when you are gonna show me love. She have one eye on me and one eye on my pocket.
Could you give me a try? Cause I look in your eyes, girl, I feel like I'm flying. Hey, could you give me a try? Cause when I look in your eyes,
So when I'm down, I play a good song. You and your negative vibes around me now working. I hope this feeling does last for a little while. Coming off no nice time for so long. Catch a vibe, just watch out for bad my name lurking. Ready for broke your vibes again. Pull a meds, love your life, it's a gift, yeah. Get the meds, grind it up, pull a spliff, yeah. Do something now, we make you enjoy life. Me tell you now, get a girl, fly away, take a trip, yeah. On the beach, see the water, take a dip, yeah. Do something now, we make you enjoy life. And stop carrying feelings, cause I'm steady holding firm. But you want another tip, so what you did is don't even know you no more. You're too bad, man. Life for I and I. So when I'm down, I play a good song. You and your negative vibes around me now working. I hope this feeling does last for a little while. Coming off no nice time for so long. Catch a vibe, just watch out for bad my name lurking. Ready for broke your vibes again. Pull a meds, love your life, it's a gift, yeah. Get the meds, grind it up, pull a spliff, yeah. Do something now, we make you enjoy life. Girl, fly away, take a trip, yeah. On the beach, see the water, take a dip, yeah. Do something now, we make you enjoy life. And stop carrying feelings, cause I'm steady holding firm. But you want another tip, so what you did is don't even know you no more. You're too bad, man. You sell your soul just to get the world. You know I say it's all a trick, so what you did is don't even know you no more. One life to live and so me live it like a holiday. No cares, no stress, no worries, show that all away. We all have ups and downs from a day to day. So when I rise, tell myself do some good today. A lot of people out there don't just lost a seed. Them not know what makes them happy, no say that's the key. Them not care about you, them not care about me. But me know say life's so sweet. I'm living it up, so don't bring me down. I roll some good trees up and pass the weed around. I don't wanna end up in a lost and found. Keep my feet on the ground, and you know, say, I'm living it up, so don't bring me down. I roll some good trees up and pass the weed around. Don't wanna end up in a lost and found. Keep my feet on the ground, and you know, say, I'm steady holding firm. But you want another tip, so what you did is don't even know you no more. You're too bad, man. You sell your soul just to get in the world. You know I say it's all a trick, so what you did is don't even know you no more.
No take tellings, want me no fi say this. Man, we see your farm and gone in and you let this. People mean your harm, you can't tell what a friend is. Got you for your paper, scorn you for your pennies. When you no see me gone to get replenished. Back up in the morning, can't forget the message, no. Avocado, she feel for me, send me. Yeah, man, banana is sweet, pushy belly. Jeez, I want make life sweet, so like a jelly. Climb feet, it hard, can't easy, so forget it. Sang the pan the radio, video pan the telly. Love in me heart, me a spread the catchy melody.
People of your expectation. Will they love you? No guarantee. People of your salvation. Will they save you? No guarantee. Some other time them we get caught up in the moment. So overwhelmed of the drive, but I don't know where I am going. So I hold my head and I pray I don't want to. Tell myself, oh, I can't do. But remember, you must never lose, oh. Never lose, oh, never lose, oh. Aye. My purpose in a life, open up your eyes. Analyze and realize, say you got the powers inside. Stand sturdy on the journey, and we live it and we learn. The victory sheet away, you know the battle was the first one.
Like a fire on corruption, make we burn it. Them can't stop when I feel.
Yo, mornings just got reclaimed. OMG in the morning.
I didn't realize, Flex. I didn't realize. Sorry, my apologies. Somebody here on WhatsApp is saying, why are people still breaking quarantine at a time like this? Totally irresponsible. Hold on, what is... We know you can still have the virus even after testing negative, yet they're coming home and breaking quarantine. I don't understand these people. People still breaking quarantine? No, man. No, I don't want to believe that. This person is saying that people are still breaking quarantine at a time like this. Listen, we have to be more responsible than that. And the funny thing is, not everyone would break quarantine, and it's just making it look bad for the persons who are actually going through that tough time of still having to stay indoors. Flex, you could imagine that you're on this ocean, you're sailing for all this time, you finally get to come home, and still you have to wait 14 days before you can go and socialize and mix and mingle. It's rough. And then you have persons who are breaking the quarantine. Well, according to this person, because I really don't want to believe that people out there breaking quarantine. Then you have the one or two persons who decide that they're going to break the quarantine and come tongue and go about their business and whatever. And I mean, come on, you're making it look bad. And you're making it worse for everybody. So please, if you're supposed to be in quarantine and you're listening, stay home now, man. Just stay home. We don't need... We can't take it. Our hearts can't take it. Please, just stay home. Do not break the quarantine if you are under mandatory quarantine. It's just a protocol. 14 days will pass. I know it's difficult, but you can do it. And someone else here is saying, I've been questioning too. Hold on. I've been questioning too these persons going home to their families. Not sure how you can quarantine in a house full of people. Same thing I've been asking. I don't know. Maybe somebody will provide us with some answers one of these days. All right, we're going to switch gears. We're going to get Pastor Richards in on OMG this morning. Flex, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do this real quick.
Let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.
Hello, good morning, Pastor.
Good morning, Denise. Trust you had a good weekend.
I did. How about you?
The usual. Had adequate rest, and so I feel good to go this morning, except for the fact that I think I threw my back out.
Oh, no.
Outside of that, you know.
You have to be careful, Pastor. You got to be careful. Hope that you're not in too much pain or discomfort.
Well, yeah, some pain, some discomfort. You know, trying to stay young, and sometimes you try to stay young, and you end up crawling like an old man. You know, you try to keep up with your exercises and all of that, and end up throwing out your back. So.
I know, but I hope that you feel better soon.
Thank you. Good morning to all that's listening. Always appreciate this opportunity. I really have to let you know. Most of you already know my drift, what I try to do. Even from time to time, I comment on current events, weave them into, something that is more value-laden. I really see myself as having this MO, this drive to say things related to values, societal values, and tweaking how we look at society and what values we have as the axis of our life. So that's if we have new people listening, welcome, and just so that you get used to, if every day I don't comment on a current issue, it is not because I am tone deaf, okay? It's because, I will comment, but I will try to work it from a value axis kind of point of view. All right, so there, I said that.
Now, Pastor, you know, it's Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
You would have given your sermon yesterday. What did you talk about?
Let me, forgive me, sorry. Daniel, I am doing this series on change. In fact, the entire series is entitled Change is a Must. And whether it's behavioral change or, as much as some people don't want to hear it, relational change. That's always a very troublesome one when you counsel people and you look at their relationships. And it's a mess, and you say, boy, you say, girl. I mean, I don't mean that in a pejorative way when I say boy, girl, but I say, boy, that's how I talk. Like, boy, you can't keep that up. You got to change that. Relational change, people have to consider that. Lifestyle change. Sometimes when I talk about change, it is totally taken to be political change. But that's part and parcel of it. But, I mean, really, change on any sphere. All right? So that's what I've been talking about 3 weeks. The first week, I think I spoke about something that was key, recognizing when a situation is ripe for change. You don't just change willy-nilly. You have to feel and know, boy, yeah, this situation, this is toxic. Daniel, I want to tell you something, you know. If you don't come to the point, right? You follow me? If you don't come to the point where you realize the toxicity of your particular situation, you're going to stay there. You've heard me, or maybe others have heard me talk about the frog in the kettle kind of thing. I mean, you get used to where you are, and the temperature is going up, and the frog is in the hot water. The frog could jump out. The frog never jumps out. And because the temperature doesn't really go up rapidly, right? It's just it's hot, the frog stays there, and it just cooks to death. And people might be in a situation where they're cooking to death, eating toxic, and they're not recognizing, boy, this is a situation that I need to get out. That's ripe for change. So that's what I spoke about in the first, because I know the series will go right through June. So that's what I spoke about towards the end of May. And I think it's still current. If you missed it, please hear me saying you have to know whether it's political change or relational change, behavioral change. You have to know, boy, this situation stinks. This situation stinks. It's ripe for change. And then the next thing, which I spoke about the second week, which was the second installment in that sermon series, I spoke about the absolute need to get rid of the things that you need to get rid of. You can't change it. And I said, one of my deepest philosophical thought was this: you can't change and stay the same. Denny, that is true. You can't change and keep everything the way it was. And that, as a counselor, that is part of my difficulty in transitioning people to change, because they are so comfortable with the way things are that they don't really feel much of an impetus to change. They want to change. Yeah, they desire change. But when I begin to kind of orchestrate and engineer change with them, they want the same place they go in. They want the same people they're hanging around with. They want the same relationship. They having the same. They want to same habits. They want to do the same thing again. They want to go all the same parties. They want to, like, you don't want change. They want to keep the same mood and anger mindset. You know, the Bible itself talks about, if you want that, you have to renew your mind. Romans chapter 12:2. Renew your mind. That's how you transform, by the renewing of your mind. So I spent the second week talking about the fact that, man, look, you're serious about change. Then I don't care who you are. You are not serious about change if you want to keep all the same people in your life, go all the same places, do all the same thing. Deep philosophical thought, you can't change if you want everything the same. You got to be prepared to get rid of some things. You got to be prepared to get rid of some people. You got to be prepared to get rid of certain mindset, ways of thinking, da-da-da-da-da. You got to be prepared. So that was the second week. But seeing that you didn't ask me about all of that, that was just for free. You asked me about what I did yesterday. So yesterday now, we still working this whole series, change is a must. And yesterday I came to what I thought was probably the most difficult in the series. This week and next week will be the most difficult. This week was about taking courageous action. And I started out by saying that crisis, and you all hear me because we now talk about this pandemic and we talk about what's happening in the United States and all of that. We are saying this is a crisis. Well, it was the coronavirus and the way it was sweeping across the world, that's kind of a crisis mode. Or the protests that are now the George Floyd spin-offs that are sweeping across the United States. Crisis again. Looting and people in the streets, and it's crisis. And people have this habit of burying their head in the sand and running and like, oh boy, and clamping down in the midst of a crisis. Even in emotional abuse in relationships or abuses on your job where you know you are being used and it happens over and over again. Crisis! And people have a certain angst that comes out in crisis and fear and all of that. They have the negative view of crisis as if it's something to run from. And in my school of thought and some of the business, studies I've done, I have come to this conclusion and learned that crisis is actually, don't let it go to waste. That's what I was told. Don't let a good crisis go to waste. Crisis is actually your catalyst for action. A lot of times when, there's not much of an upheaval, not much going on, even if the situation is bad, you're not going to really take drastic action until the crisis comes. But when the crisis hits you, you have to seize it. Seize it. Don't run. Don't back down. Don't back down. Seize it and leverage it because it's your moment to take action. You know what Shakespeare said? There's a tide that comes in the affairs of all men. You have to seize it, take it at its full, and maximize the thing and leverage it. When you get hit with a real crisis, whether it's in your relationship or at your job, or in health, or some people get bad health news and all of that. Crisis. Whenever you get a crisis situation, that's your catalyst, and you're now in decision mode. Whether I'm going to stay or I'm going to leave. All right, ladies, I'm going to stay or I'm going to leave. Or in terms of political activism and stuff happens. So you decide, I'm going to speak out or I'm going to stay silent. There's a lot of stuff in civilians that people need to speak out on, and there are a lot of stuff that people are probably staying silent on. You stay silent. But here's a choice, because the crisis hits. Whether you want to maintain the status quo, because you don't want to disrupt it, you don't want to hurt people, you don't want this, you don't want that, or you're like, I have to change. I don't care who vex, as we say in Vinci. Who vex. Who in the kitchen feels the heat, I coming out this kitchen. So crisis is really a catalyst for action. Actually, I told the people yesterday I was speaking to, I said, look, if I put my hand, the stove is on, it's burning, I accidentally put my hand on the burner of the stove, and that heat hits me. It's crisis. And I am supposed to feel in that heat. I'm supposed to remove my hand, take care of my hand, do something. I'll be stupid utterly. If feeling that heat, I'm like, whatever. If I keep my hand, they might get used to it. That's ignorance. Crisis is a catalyst to take action. You got to take it. Whether you pull back or you push through, but you have to take action. So I unpacked all of that yesterday, and then I moved to another major point that I wanted to get across. The whole idea that fear is the issue. Fear makes cowards out of well-intentioned people. See, for example, Daniel, you might be, I see you as a very well-intentioned person. I'm not calling you a coward, right? But I'm talking to you, kind of like using you as my,
I understand.
You know what? Let me move away from you. Because yesterday I actually dealt with the Israelites. Everybody knows the story, David and Goliath. And but they won't face Goliath at all the Israelites. They're just afraid to face Goliath. But what they were doing every morning, rather than go and fight Goliath, they would come out and talk a good bramble talk, shout up, make a whole heap of noise. This actually happened, make a whole heap of noise. And then when they get tired, they go back down. And then next morning they do the same thing. but they won't fight in Goliath. People talk a good bramble talk, make a whole heap of noise like the Israelites. And they do nothing. Why? Because fair, people, a lot of times when people don't take action, Daniel, is because they have a spirit that is called fear. Fear is actually a spirit. Fear is an immobilizing spirit. It is real. I mean, it's like a spirit comes upon you, you can't do anything. The Bible says, that's not from God. God didn't give us this spirit of fear. It's actually there. That God, realizing that fear, that kind of fear is a bad, 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 bad thing. He didn't give us that kind of spirit because that kind of spirit now stifles out the spirit of courage and boldness and all of that. So, but the next point, and this is critical, I want everybody to hear this because this might reach somebody. This might reach some man, some woman somewhere listening this morning. You didn't know that I was going to have a word for you, but here it is. Cowardice, right? Causes people, hear me well, cowardice causes people to find substitute for meaningful action. So I gave this joke. Some people laughed, some people didn't care for it, but I said yesterday, boy, it's like this. Some people I know, well, of course, hypothetically, the house burning down, Daniel, the house burning down, but they're spending time straightening the house, sweeping out, moving the furniture around, taking care of business in the house, and the house burning down. Get yourself out the house if the house burning down. Who stays in a house when it's burning down? Say, well, yeah, but I'm busy doing this or doing that. You ain't see me cleaning. You ain't see me putting up the windows. You ain't see me moving the furniture around. You don't stay in the situation that is critical. House burning down, stop straightening the house, leave. But then, like I said last week on another commentary, people are caught up with optics and window dressing and making things look good when the thing nasty, it's toxic. If it's poison, don't put ice in it and drink it. What kind of craziness is this? And this is this kind of talk here that I'm talking, Daniel, is to spur people to action. Don't just put up window dressing. Don't just do mouth talk. And because that's a substitute for meaningful action. It's like climbing a ladder and reaching up the top of the ladder and say, yeah, I climbed the ladder, but the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall. Move the ladder. It ain't make sense to say, well, I'm doing something, you're doing the wrong thing. Identify the issue that needs changing, whether it's relationally or socially or political. Identify it, and then know what you want change, and then know what must be done to make it effective, and then do the thing. Don't just talk, or don't just stay active and do something. Do the right thing. So I'm not just saying, keep maintaining the status quo, keep doing something. I say, no, stop that nonsense. Do the right thing. All right, and then you say, but Pastor, was a long message. No, it really wasn't that long. The last thing I shared is, what was it now? What was it? It was this idea that it was the courage. It takes courage to do the hard but necessary things. There are two classes of people anywhere you go. Cowards and courageous people. Seriously. And cowards will always have what they have always had. Courageous people now are the real difference makers. I don't think Martin Luther King, I referenced him in my sermon yesterday, I don't think Martin Luther King Jr. was a coward to stand up and face the status quo, the authority. And I listen, and I do listen to a lot of his speeches, I have to say I do. And he just inspires me, the way he called out the people said, from Stone Mountain to the plains of Mississippi, when he was given that I Have a Dream speech. It really registered with me. He knew. I listened to the speech again this weekend on the night when before he was killed. And he knew, Daniel, the man knew that he was going to be killed. He said, listen, we're going to be going to the promised land. He said, I may not get there with you. He said, but I've been to the mountaintop, and mine eyes have seen the glory. But he resonated that I may not get there with you, but I see what's coming. And the next thing you know, he was shot. He knew, but the man was courageous. knowing that he was going to be shot, knowing, if someone debate that nah, he didn't know. Well, knowing that at least he knew the dogs and the water hoses, how many times was he locked up in jail? Don't forget Selma. Don't forget Selma, please. Rosa Parks, she was courageous. People who take courage and do the right thing, I have such a high admiration looking back historically. And there are other names I could call, but people who they change destiny. They mess up the status quo and they bring change. And I believe that people can have change, and this is how I concluded yesterday. I believe that people can have change, but it is never through cowardice and fear. When you, as hard as it is, as disruptive as it is, as painful as it is, with all of the discomfort that it brings and the uncertainties and risk and all of that it brings, if you know in all of this say, yes, but I'm going through with it, I don't care, then what you're actually doing is that kind of uncertainty and risk and is like a key that is opening a door. You have to take the risk. Okay? You have to bear the uncertainty. You have to feel the discomfort. You have to go through with a disruption. But those are keys. And when you use them, they will open a door to a better future for you. So that was, but I did admit that it was hard to do. But I did also say that when you do it, you leave the past behind and you move into a better future. It's not easy, but it unlocks the door and it brings change. So I'm hoping that through sharing these messages at the Kingston, well, I say at the Kingston Baptist Church, KBC, but Daniel, I have to tell you, thousands are following when we do the posts, and for some reason, more than any of other posts we have done, this whole series that we are doing on change is resonating with a lot of people. I believe that people really want change, and for that reason, these messages that we are doing at Kingston Baptist Church, KBC, resonates with them. And I hope that you will continue to follow. We are online every Sunday, and I really do hope that this is more than just mouth talk, that it could actually make people think about how they can get the change they want. So I hope I answered your question about what I said yesterday, Denise.
Most definitely, most definitely. Most definitely.
You all take care and think about what I said and have a blessed day, all right?
Thank you so much, Pastor.
Right, take care. Okay, bye-bye.
Let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG. We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning.
So the reason why we in healthcare use this mask, the N95 mask, is because we have a prolonged contact and continuous contact with the ill. A prolonged contact is considered within 1 meter of the patient and for more than 15 minutes. And healthcare workers, we would have to keep doing this. Also, we'll be doing aerosolized procedures. You may have to nebulize someone, so we need a little bit more protection, and that's why we use the N95 mask. While caring for someone at home, always remember, even though you're using this mask, that your contact should really be minimal. And it does protect you in the case of corona because the virus is quite big and very unlikely to pass to and from this mask. And that's why the patient would wear it and the person providing care will wear it.
The Love Zone.
The best R&B jams, period.
Hear it on Boom 1069.
Hey, on Thursdays we throw it back, boy.
Throwback Thursday. The biggest throwbacks all day. It's nothing but continuous urban jams. Lock it to the Evolution Station.
We talk about your jams, the old school joints, everything.
On Thursday, we throw it back.
Let's Throwback Thursdays on the Evolution Station.
This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot.
Throwback Thursday.
When the top boy Evolution.
1069 Boom. 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 Boom.
Here we go.
Locking down the entire universe. It's District 106 on the Boom. Galaxy by far. And DJ Flex on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069.
All the fans of soca. I want. Push them up and up and up, up and up, up and up. You see we hands gonna up and up. Everybody hands gonna up and up.
In order to stop the spread of the coronavirus, the government and healthcare professionals have encouraged the public practice social distancing. Social distancing is simply staying at home, avoiding crowds, and avoiding touching each other. If you must come outside to go to work or run an errand, you are encouraged to sneeze or cough within the crease of your elbow or cough within a tissue and discard immediately. Practice washing your hands regularly or the use of hand sanitizer. This message was brought to you by Boom 1069 and IKTV. Stay home, stay safe, stop the spread.
She want run. Like, she gonna fire and a bone. Nice pretty girl, I want me like it. Right by my like it, I like it. Got me tired of the cussing and the fighting. Every single night is like
She tell me, say them, I feel me as me ready. She have a man, but no watch out, cause it no matter what I get. She say a long time, she a see a bit of it, that I judge up. What to them, girl, yeah. Back in the days, people, them used to call it style. Miss I G, them used to call it swagger. Fast forward, bank account, them up three. Come out when we say join, every youth fall up. Yes, that man dripping sauce, living fast. Same school, but we in a different class. Me no left me, it's like my phone. Me keep it for me all when me up. Button up with pants, t-shirt with gloves. What kind of pants? Can I be yours? Straight fitted jeans, still I slot them in.
Yo, mornings just got reclaimed. OMG in the morning.
And this is where we gotta say goodbye, gotta take our leave. Thank you for locking on with us another day. Flex, say bye. Say bye. Say bye. Say bye.
Thank you for locking on. See you all tomorrow.
Yeah, make sure that you keep it locked on to Boom 1069. Coming up next is Jill and DJ Shady. They've got you covered inside the Shade Room. And make sure that you follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. We are Boom SVG 1069. Make sure that you click like, make sure you click follow, all right, and keep yourself in the know and be a part of the evolution. We hope that you have a fantastic day. Be back with you tomorrow. And remember to please stay safe. All right, Flex is going to take you out with a real big tune there, right, Flex?
Yeah.
All right, until tomorrow.
Some boy we are no brother, much less my relative. Yo, get out. Them no want see we no go check. Now I will live the life like we no movie. She tell us she narrate me, say that I fool me. I see that she come get this thing at the alright. So me can't do it, youth me approve it. Me never fight a war in a life I lose it. Man a G I game bad mind, excuse me. Girl we pretty, girl we bad and bougie. I say just a jeep over me neck. I must see that make a nigga vex. Million a week, yes, so that is thing I make. Money when me walk with, can't hold in a wallet. Some boys smell like cigarette. Nah, no style, all time a cassette. Said that them a chop and them no got no assets. Now sell out me dog, them say me is a vet. I tell us them me now worry about no. As long as me
them boys them out so easily.
Alright, how are you? I am fine. Big up the house and me I come from road. Man can tell about how
them boys them out so easily.
Alright, I am fine.
We stand strong. Yeah, we stand strong. Stand up like a man. Stand up like a man. See the face of evil there. Fear not, fear defeat yourself. This a fi brave heart. Yo, a lion over straight dog. Black people time for fight.
On point, dropping shade.